Hello, my name is Philip Jeffrey. I am a University of British Columbia PhD student here in Vancouver, British Columbia, and I'm currently living with multiple myeloma. I have chemo treatment right now, and I thought what would be useful is for me to share my chemo experiences with an audience so people know what it's like to go through chemo, especially from a sort of first-hand experience. Tomorrow will be the fifth week of my first cycle. I have, for this particular treatment, I have 6 cycles and 5 weeks of each cycle. The fifth week of each cycle, I get off where I don't have to take the Velcade IV treatment at the hospital. So where we are now, again, is that I've gone through 4 weeks of the Velcade chemo IV at the hospital, taking cyclophospamide, which is a chemo pills I take, and taking that once a week on the Friday as well as once a week on the Friday. I take dexamethasone. So I'm able to sort of look back at these previous 4 weeks of my treatment, and I can straight up honestly say these have been the worst 4 weeks of my life. I've I've been through a variety of chemo treatments. I've done probably three of the bone marrow tests. I've done the actual stem cell replacements for your on high intense chemo and you're laying in bed just trying to recover and not get infection and worrying about dying. I've had stroke. I've had TTP, spent 12 days in hospital, all that, and that none of that even comes close to what I've gone through the last 4 weeks. So, to back up, my treatment started on the February 22nd. Everything's a go. Took my cyclophospamide, my dexamethasone, which is a steroid sort of like help with the chemo treatment. Went in the hospital, and the way the chemo works is that the Velcade is actually injected into my stomach with two different sort of needles of varying milliliters. I think it's 140 milliliters for one of the needles, and just like injecting the stomach, 150 milliliters for the next one, and that it alternates each side depending on the week. So the first week's my left side, second week my right side. Afterwards, felt great. I stayed around for half an hour because they just want to make sure everything's okay, and then I headed home. On Saturday, I was just wandering around, taking pictures of campus. I went down to the beach, everything was okay, and as I was beginning to come up, I felt this sort of like tightness and this sharp pain in my sides, my back, and I just thought it was odd because I myself have never experienced back pain. I had no idea what it could be, but I somehow made it up the stairs of Wreck Beach, walked home, and just fell onto the bed. Tried to sleep, woke up later, and the pain was incredibly intense. It was intensity where I move, I'm in pain. I don't move, I'm in pain. The sides, my back, my stomach. I didn't know if it was some sort of ulcer, so I was able to find some Tums to eat, but that didn't help out at all. And it was the fact where I would move my left leg and feel pain in my stomach. Stretch my right leg, pain in my side. Move over to one side, intense pain. The next day I went to the pharmacy, picked up some Tums as well as some Tylenol. This wasn't really effective. Tylenol did not work, and I just lay in bed for a couple of days in this intense pain. By luck, as it would have it, on the Tuesday I had an appointment with my specialist. I was able to somehow get out of bed, go down to the specialist, and explain to him how I was having this pain. At the time, even though it was very, very bad, I was able to sort of, for the appointment, stand up without it being so much pain. And then the Wednesday, it was a little bit less. On the Thursday, it was pretty much gone, no pain. And it came to the Friday where I felt everything was okay. I didn't have any pain. I thought everything was cool. Again, this is the second week of treatment, Velcade again, dexamethasone, cyclophosphate, everything's all good. Since I didn't have any pain, I was all happy. Come to the Saturday, and boom, in Saturday afternoon, pain just hits me. I look back and I made a mistake. What I should have done was thought, you know what? I don't know what's going on, but just in case, I'm just going to stay in bed. Just in case the pain returns. Instead, I was off wandering around campus. It hit me so hard that I couldn't move. By chance, I fell into these outdoor chairs and I just sort of sat there. I sat there because I was in serious trouble. I was carrying a backpack, and those who know me, I generally carry this big backpack, and I could not move. I could not lift the backpack. There was so much pain around my sides. I could not get up to walk by myself. I was now trapped, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I was debating. I knew, one, I needed to get to the hospital, and I didn't know whether I should call 911 or what. So, by chance, a friend of mine just texted me to see how I was doing. This is a really good friend that just likes to check up on me. Like, my friends knows I'm going through chemo and just wanted to make sure they was okay. And I stated that I was in really bad straits and I really felt I had to call 911. And they were amazing. They came to see me, got their car to the hospital, and that allowed me to go into the cancer ward for an emergency checkup. The specialist there put me on to codeine. So now here I am on codeine because I'm on this like intense pain. And what's weird is that the specialist asked me, what's my level of pain? And I'm like, it's 10. Like, it can't be 10. It can't be 10 because you are talking to me and you're able to stand up. And the issue was that when I was sort of sitting there, it wasn't 10. Sitting there, it's 0. But moving is a 10. And doing things like I couldn't touch my toes. I couldn't, problems standing up completely straight. Walking is very slow because I'm feeling pain in my stomach, my back, on my sides. One of my arms, they was giving me a little pain, and I was just really, really worried. So I'm now on codeine, went home, and just crashed out. And this leads to like days where you're just lying in bed. And for those of you, I don't know if you've probably had a cold and you just whatever lying in bed. This is where I'm lying in bed, and again, it is constant pain. So you're debating what you can do to lessen the pain. There's nothing you can do. The pain would just be random. And some days it felt like this sort of twisting where it's almost like a Charlie horse, but a Charlie horse in your sides, where I would move to the side and a Charlie horse would appear on one of my sides. I would sit there and I'm like, okay, so my kitchen is there. I need food, yet I can't get up. I will just hold off here, and maybe tomorrow I will move again. Again, the codeine wasn't really helping. Lots of pain, trying to sleep, but it just really wasn't happening. So it was really bad periods of time as I was trying to sort of figure out where this pain was from, the cause of it, and what I could do. So I was thinking maybe this is related to the Velcade. So luckily, one of my friends, even though I was out of food, I was able to get a friend to come by and to bring me food for groceries. Again, you can't really tell I haven't worked out or anything the last 4 weeks, but I'm not really so out of shape because I haven't really been eating, which may be related to the chemo, but a lot of it's related to the fact that when it caused a lot of pain for you to open your fridge, you're less likely to open the fridge. If now this is a period of time where I could not stand up straight. And if you know what that means is that everything I'm doing at an arc. So imagine that I'm hobbling around and everything I'm at a half stand up where I can't stand up straight because it's too much pain. So I would hobble out of bed to use the washroom, fall out of bed, sort of push myself up, walk over to the counter to drink some water, take some codeine pills, try and figure out is there any food, how can I pull the food out of the kitchen? No, okay, we're just gonna pass on that. I need to get the cupboard too high, let's pass on that. That led again to the Friday. The Friday's pain was a little less, so now we are on, because the pain's a little less, I was now able to. The pain was less, but I didn't feel I could actually walk. So I began taking was able to get a ride with sort of a cancer service to take me to the hospital. Saw my specialist, who was able to see me even though I was getting my Velcade treatment, and he put me on to T3s, which are codeine and Tylenol, and that was to help reduce the pain. Again, it seemed less on the Friday, and so I was able to sort of stand up straight. But the previous couple of weeks, I had not been. It's so odd to say, but I've never experienced that, where standing up straight is something I could not do. Touching my toes, not possible. This sort of half hunched over, pushing my knees back and forth in order to move is an experience I just can't describe. The fact I haven't made any blog posts or pictures, or even the fact that I'm sitting in this chair now is something that was not possible 2 weeks ago, was not possible 3 weeks ago. It was just beyond my wildest dreams. The codeine Tylenol, not really much helpful. They reduced the pain, but I still felt a lot of the pain, and maybe I was sort of blocking off and getting it better at blocking out the pain in my mind. The next week, this then leads to we're now on to the 4th week of the Velcade, and I'm again taking a cancer card for treatment. My movement sort of slowed, and I was put on to now hydromorphine, which is some sort of type of morphine. And this last week, that has actually worked. That has had a phenomenal effect on reducing the pain. I just being able to stand up straight is a luxury. I can't imagine how happy I am that I'm able to stand up straight. The fact that now here it is, it being the 21st, 4th week of tomorrow would be the 5th week of my treatment. My pain is at, say, 1 out of 10, right? I can feel it, but it's not really it's not really hindering me a lot of things I can do. My movement is slowed. I don't feel like I can do jumping jacks or run, which again maybe do so. In fact, that the pain may be gone, just maybe that the morphine is blocking out the pain a lot. So that, in a sense, is worrying, and I don't really know what's going on, because I can still feel parts of my body in this sort of like pain 1 out of 10, and sort of tightness, but it isn't the sort of impossibility to move, impossibility to do anything, impossibility to live a normal life. I've just, these last weeks, just laying in bed, where all I can do is just lay in bed and turning to my sides is pain. Laying down is pain. Non-movement is no pain, but then I stretch a leg and all of a sudden it's pain in my body that I wouldn't expect, as just being incredibly beyond words. Not something I would ever want to go through again. And so here I am. Tomorrow is no Velcade, and we'll see if the pain continues to go away, or there may be something else. Because with most of my myeloma, which type of cancer I have, back pain, side pain, seems to be a common side effect of it. Yet I've never had this before, so I'm hopeful that this pain is due to the Velcade, and that whatever the reason is I'm having it, that will disappear, and that's not due to my cancer, because that would mean that for the rest of my life I have to deal with this sort of pain, and then in a sense respond accordingly. And what's sort of what's been really helpful the last 4 weeks is just the benefit of having really close friends that have been able to come by and check me out, whether they're getting me groceries, seeing how I'm doing, or one of my friends maybe a homemade chicken fettuccine that was incredibly yummy and just made my day. Like, just having people come by to check you out and just to make sure that everything's okay in your world, or just to sit there as you're laying in bed, not to move, and just to chat or watch sports with you, has just been really helpful. I just wanted to say shout out to my friends who have been here for me, and that's just been really beyond words thankful. and I just feel really blessed because of that. So this has been, in a sense, incredibly trying experience the last 4 weeks, and I'm hopeful that the rest of my chemo experience is gained. This is leading in the 5th week of cycle 1, but I have 6 cycles. That this will really be a much better experience, because I just, this is not what I expected when I went on this sort of chemo. So I'm staying positive. I'm focused on being happy and thinking positive thoughts so that overall I can get better and that life just improves. So thanks very much for listening. This has been my sort of chemo cycle 1 experience, and I'm hopeful that everything will just get better. And have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.